EV. This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hello and welcome to HealthLink, a program connecting home, community, and healthcare. My name is Carol Merton, and today I am delighted to welcome to our program Fire Chief Phil Eagleson from the Owen Sound Fire Department. And believe it or not, we're here not necessarily to talk about fire, we're here to talk about physician recruitment. Phil, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Carol.
My pleasure. Now, I did write up some questions and, feel free if you're not comfortable answering any to say, I'll get back to you, Carol. But how does a fire chief get involved with physician recruitment? That was my first question, because some people say, what? So tell me how you are involved and maybe some of your history about physician recruitment efforts.
Thanks, Carol. For about 7 years, I've worked with physicians to attract them to the Grey Bruce area. So in a previous life, and I'm working for another municipality, I was Director of Protective Services, and that did a broader portfolio with building, some economic development. And what we really found is with high growth, one of our sticking points in growth was connecting new residents with physicians, and it was getting to a critical point. So I took a lead in the physician recruitment effort there, managing buildings and residences for the physicians, and incentives and everything that went along with it. Then I made a wonderful move to the city of Owen Sound a few years ago, and as is everywhere in Ontario and Canada, physician recruitment is an issue, and I was able to apply some of my skills here in Owen Sound. So my previous life caught up with me, and I took those duties on, and I'm very happy to do that here in the city, because we have so much to offer the physicians, and my job's somewhat easy getting that message out, because we have a wonderful regional hospital and an incredible health team and all the right stuff to attract doctors. So that's really my background in it. I've been successful in recruiting senior physicians right down to third-year med students, and getting commitments from them for the community. Access to primary health care is our goal. It's not just physician recruitment. It's retention and recognition of our current physicians. But at the end of the day, we want everyone in the community and everyone considering coming to our community to have access to primary health care. And that's a mix. That might be the family physician, or other ways of connecting them.
Excellent. So, and you mentioned earlier, it is, of course, physician recruitment for healthcare, but there's an economic growth and development part to being able to have physicians here as well, which benefits everyone in the community.
Absolutely, Carol. We see it. We know that a quarter of our residents in Grey Bruce area don't have family physicians or family physicians locally. Often people have retired to the area and they're keeping their longtime family physician back in the city, and it's working for them, but that's not ideal. And that's not where we want to go. We want everyone to be able to connect with someone local.
Yeah. Now,
I also think it's becoming such an issue across Ontario and across Canada that people look at whether they can get a doctor before they even move to that community. Yes. They research, housing, and the next step is, can they get a doctor and what the wait list is like to get into that community.
Yeah. Now, with your physician recruitment efforts, it's not just for Owen Sound, correct? It's for Grey Bruce. Do I have that right?
Yes, sort of my role is two focuses in physician recruitment. And in the last 2 years, we've had a great team with a working group that has looked at a Grey Bruce regional promotion of the area. So loosely following the boundaries of Bright Shores, but not precisely, because we have some differences in the lens to where our geographical borders are. But for the most part, it's all Grey and Bruce, and promoting the area as a whole, as everything that Bright Shores has to offer, a new physician or a continuing physician, and the beauty of our area, the natural opportunities recreationally outside, and everything we have as a region. And that is, it's in its infancy, but we have great support from both Bruce County and Grey County, and some larger partners. And we hope to really enjoy the fruits of our labor in the next couple of years with a regional collective approach to promoting the entire area.
Yeah.
Quite often, and what we saw for the last several years, are either pockets or municipalities competing individually for physicians. And if a physician was considering the area, we'd either pull them apart and pull them in two different directions, and they go somewhere else because they couldn't really get a focus from us, or we simply just didn't have the resources to connect them to where they wanted to be in their career. So with a hub approach, we will have a central conduit for that person, and they'll be able to explore all the different options in Grey Bruce area as a physician. After they know they want to be here as an area, as a region, then we can drill down to what community might be best for them, what their interests are, small town, larger town, medium town, schools for young family, that kind of thing, and suggest some placements for them for their actual clinic, where they might be happiest.
And that's the key as well. Recruitment is one part, but we want to keep them. And you mentioned retention. We want them to be happy and to stay, because that's important. Now, sorry,
Carol. So that's my one focus is the Grey Bruce promotion. It's a great team I'm part of there. They've just been doing a lot of work with economic development staff, and coming up with the whole concept of the hub. We've engaged some professionals to get us there, modeling other success stories in Canada where that has worked, regional promotion. So that's one of my focuses. The other focus is Owen Sound proper, Owen Sound, and that's not being selfish. It's we want doctors here too, and I'm the point of contact for the community on getting doctors here and promoting them locally. I will say that if another doctor comes to the Grey Bruce area, it still helps us. It helps the burden of our local patients. Some will choose to drive from Owen Sound to wherever the clinic is taking patients. But it even takes our pressures off the hospital system. And it's a good thing when a doctor comes to anywhere in our area. But we want to keep our health team here locally full and accepting new patients as well.
Yes. Now, you've mentioned about the team, and one of the questions I had, who are your partners? Who do you network with? In the past, I've heard about a physician recruitment team, but I'm wondering if you can give a current picture of who's with you, Phil, on this adventure.
Carol, it's staff from the counties, both counties. There's representative from Bruce Power. There's industry representatives on that group, the municipal representatives from the other recruiters in the area, like myself. There are community volunteers on that group. I hope I'm not missing anybody. But it's broad enough. We started very large with a huge, almost manageable group of 50 or 60 people, and then through our focusing it down and engaging a consultant to give us a picture, we've gotten down to a core group of around 20 people, and that is a nice balance to keep us moving ahead and looking at the regional hub model.
One of the things today as we talk, Phil, I'm looking for signs of hope for our community. People maybe aren't aware of all of the work that's going on around physician recruitment. There's an impression, gee, are they not doing anything? And I'm wondering if you would mind speaking for a few minutes about the work that's being done, and if there's any success stories you can share that you feel comfortable sharing, and where you envision we're going to be, because it is a concern. People are concerned.
Yeah, absolutely, Carol. I hear it every day from a middle-aged person that's just got a cancer diagnosis and they don't have a doctor, and they're afraid. They're very scared. Right to, a pregnant mother in her third trimester and doesn't have a family doctor and is scared too. So I get it 100%. One of the things we're not very good at is sharing our success stories. So when a doctor joins the area, it's not publicized at all. Whether they're not taking on new patients, they take on a retiring physician's patients, or they're working in the area in different capacities. So they want a smaller patient load than the outgoing doctor, and they're doing work in the ER, and they're doing a variety of things. And that's what we're finding with new physicians. The typical model of hanging your shingle out the front and bringing in 1,500 patients and working 6 days a week is gone. It's not what the newer younger doctors want. They want variety in their career. They want some flexibility. They might fill their days with hospital work and a bouquet of services they offer. So the model in the lens is, you'll hear a lot in the media about it. It hasn't kept up to the times, and I think we'll see some reform there, and that will bring physicians back to family practice. I really hope, if I can shine a ray of light there. I don't see that in the next couple of months, or it's several years to get there. Well, we do see announcements of our new med schools opening up, or our existing med schools taking more patients. So that is really good news for the province. Locally, if I could share some good news, we've taken more residents on in Owen Sound. These are our training med students, future doctors that are now coming to our area. And we've increased that number considerably working with ROMP, Rural Ontario Medical Program. And the staff there have been absolutely wonderful to consider now Owen Sound a training center. Or I shouldn't say Owen Sound's always had a fabulous success rate with training and retaining residents in our area, but we're getting more and more. We've opened it up to 4, I got to get this correct, 4 students every semester now are with us in our area. Mm-hmm. And fingers crossed they'll come back and practice family medicine later. Or what's even more likely is they'll go off and they'll do some specialties, and they'll broaden their education, and then in a few years they'll come back to us and mm-hmm. hang their shingle and start family practice. Mm-hmm. Or a variety of both. So that's great news locally, is the residence program, or the rural residency program through ROMP. Mm-hmm. And the successes we've had working with them here locally just in the last year.
Yeah. Now, that kind of leads me to the question, how can the community support? the physician recruitment strategy. So we have doctors who may come for our residents, which are doctors in training, basically, correct?
Yeah.
So we hear about housing and we hear about the needs for housing for everyone. I would assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, that housing to be able to provide a roof for the residents, even if it's just short term, is important. Is there anything you might ask of the community to be able to help in this way?
That's a great question, Carol, and it's very, very timely. As I sort of check my phone calls as we're doing this interview today, I'm looking for accommodations for two residents wanting to come and do a rural elective in our area for the next month. Right now, and they need a private room. They work odd hours and their own accommodations while they're here. The payoff to the city is they get to know our city and learn at our hospital and fall in love with the area, and then come back like we had mentioned. And yes, right now we are looking for more. So we've expanded recently this year to 4 bedrooms or accommodations to accommodate them, and we quickly exceeded that level of service, and we have 2. I put out emails to my contacts and council's contacts, and we've just had tremendous offers of housing this week. I haven't had a chance to count them all, but certainly a variety of different options, and we've really been overwhelmed with the expression of sincere, not gratitude, but a desire to see these doctors here, to accommodate them.
Yeah.
Everything from living right in people's homes with them embedded in their families to private accommodations and anything in between. So I can from that I can gauge, there is a desire for the community to help with physician recruitment. I hope to, in the next couple of weeks, launch a program that can, a website where people can go and check and see what if they want to offer up their home, they can offer it there. If they want to make a financial contribution, they can make it there. We can get them updates on, what's new in the area with rural physicians coming to our area. And it's a tool to engage the community. We're working on it right now.
Yeah.
I don't have a name for it, but we have learned from this opportunity this week that people want to know what's going on, and they want to help. They genuinely want to contribute in some way. So we're going to tap into that. We're going to figure out a way to engage the community.
And that's great. And because one of my questions was based on that, will you have a housing registry or a housing inventory that may not, for future students, that you could say, this is an opportunity. It sounds like that website may start to track some available housing then.
Yeah, that's one of our goals with the program, the website. But I also mentioned, keeping them up informed and engaged on what our activities are, and accepting donations. We do need financial donations from time to time, and it'll be an easy way to give a contribution if people want to.
Excellent. And that website, then your intention would be, it wouldn't be just an Owen Sound rep, it would be for all Grey Bruce then?
No, our focus is Owen Sound with that
Okay.
one, Carol. The Grey Bruce hub, if you will, or the more regional approach, it will have a similar website once it's off the ground, and,
Yes.
and a promotion that way. But they have funding from some bigger donators, and
This is exciting. I actually feel this is really exciting to hear about the website development and many hands built community. And it sounds like this is a wonderful example of this in action.
Yeah, Carol, and we need help. We like you say, it takes a community, and that's what we're looking forward to.
And so this is a nice segue into my next question, which was funding for physician recruitment. Where does it come from? So obviously you're keen and will be keen to accept donations. But right now, where does your funding come from?
We don't have any funding, Carol. There's no line in the municipal budget for physician recruitment. We've done it through. We've had some donations over the years. We had a small reserve from many years. There was a before the new building of the health team was built, there was a very active committee in town, and they left some seed money. But really, we've been doing it on goodwill. There's no account, no tax dollars are used currently. However, there's expenses come up, and that's what we're looking to do is drum up some funds to cover those expenses.
In other words,
Healthcare is a provincial responsibility, and to use local tax dollars, as some municipalities have chosen, is a huge question for elected officials, and I really think there's a desire in the community to support us otherwise, and not burden the tax base.
Yeah. So by this website and the opportunity to donate, you're actually creating the vehicle for people to start to support what your initiatives are. So what would the funding, like, what would you need funding for? Would it be for promotion, marketing, a welcome basket? What do you need funding for?
All of that, Carol. So when a new physician comes to town, we may have to subsidize a spot for them to stay, whether it be short term or longer term, and some of the funding would go to that. We do want them to feel very welcomed in the city. We want to be able to at least take them out for a dinner and introduce them to the other doctors, to be able to build those connections to want to be here. I mentioned it earlier, we've had great success rates in getting our residents to come back to the health team. And ROMP claims as much as 90% have come back to the community in some way.
Wow.
And that's remarkable. Now, that's not to say that they practiced a long career here, but at least they came either back to us in another rotation, or they locum afterwards, or they stay connected to our community. And I believe that's because we have wonderful doctors in town, and they build those personal connections. Mm-hmm. So we want to have enough funds to promote those personal connections while they're here. Mm-hmm. It could be a barbecue at a park, as simple as that. It could be a sailboat ride that somebody donates and shows them the beauty of Georgian Bay. Could be a golf game, could be, of course, an attack game, could be a welcome basket, but it's really tailored to that specific doctor. We don't want to give them golf passes if they absolutely despise golf.
No. That's really helpful. We know certainly in Grey Bruce and in our local area here, relationships matter. Well, relationships and connections are the strength of rural Ontario. And you mentioned about the Rural Ontario, program, ROMP, and obviously, would you say from your experience it's more challenging to attract doctors to rural Ontario than it is to the big cities?
Carol, I don't have the numbers in front of me, and I forget where they're going. I could look them up, but if 100 students leave med school, do 60 go to the city and 40 rural, and that would be high. We still see most of them going to the larger centers with the bigger hospitals, more support, more specialists, more support for in their junior years of being a physician. However, once they get to the rural placement, especially in a spot like Owen Sound, they see there's excellent services at the hospital, and there's a variety of services we offer, and everything, almost everything the large centers in the city is offered here. So they do have that selection or the variety in their career to build their practice and still explore other opportunities here in Owen Sound. So I can't comment on whether that's getting better if we're closing that gap and bringing people out rural. But what I will say about the ROMP program, the Rural Ontario Medical Program, is it is very strong, and their numbers continue to grow. So just based on that, we are seeing, I heard mentioned, we're seeing more residents. They're seeing more participation in the rural program, and they are doing just a fabulous job of introducing all the med students to a rural rotation and a rural opportunity in the ROMP area. So by that metric, Carol, I would say things are getting better. I've been asked to be part of the ROMP program at their annual seminar next month, and I'm honored and pleased to represent Owen Sound there. And it's a full house. We're going to see 50 to 60 people at that opportunity interested in rural medicine. And that is, in my mind, exactly what we want to see in our area.
Yeah. And I think this is the good news story. I mean, people want instant, doctor instant, but what I'm hearing you say is there's a lot of work, a lot of network building, a lot of relationship building, and a lot of reaching out to be able to bring doctors to our area, and there is hope. We have 2 minutes left in the program. What would you like to profile before our program is drawing to a close?
I guess I have to say it all the time. If you're looking for a doctor, go to the Healthcare Connect list. Make sure you're on that list. Don't give up on the list. People are being called on the list all the time. And make sure you're registered there. Another good piece of news I'll share is we got a delegation. Grey County got a delegation with the Minister of Health just in 2 weeks at the AMO convention, the Roma convention, and we're going to be lobbying for our area and for the needs in the Grey Bruce area at that delegation. So we have a strong team working to bring change to the Grey Bruce area as well as the Owen Sound area, and I really hope we'll see some results in the next year.
Phil, just listening to all the things that you're bringing forward makes me certainly feel hopeful for our community. And I want to thank you for all that you're doing and all of the 20-some partners that you're affiliated with. Our community needs this initiative for sure for the health and well-being of everyone. Phil, thank you so much for being on the program. I've really appreciated you being here.
Happy to be here, Carol. I hope we can do this again, and
yes.
we'll talk about the new doctors coming to Owen Sound.
That would be so exciting. So you have my number.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you to our viewing audience as well for joining us today to learn about resources, programs, and services available to you and to your family. Take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Today, I helped a senior find transportation to an important medical appointment.
Today, I helped a new mom find virtual programming so she didn't feel so isolated.
Today, I helped someone understand new government supports.
Every day, 211 navigates